I am 37 years old, and I just realized that if I live 37 more years, I will be 74, which is almost the average lifespan for humans. I have noticed that all the time I have lived and all of my memories may be about the same amount of time I have left until I die. How do you cope with this? Do you just ignore it? Story 1. I just don't care about it. I think a big part of the problem for many is that they believe their life matters. They see themselves as the important person, the future Nobel Prize winner, the future Hollywood superstar, or something similar. They truly think they will make a major difference and that their actions are superior to others. But that is not the case. After realizing that your life is insignificant and not destined for greatness, you can have fun and engage in things you find interesting in the moment without worrying about aging or anything like that. Story 2. Looking back at you from age 67, my best advice is to just enjoy every day. I hope you make it this far, and I hope you make it further, but keep in mind there are no guarantees. Enjoy every day. Story 3. I am much older than you are. Accept it. There is nothing you can do to stop aging. Live your life and push yourself out of your comfort zone occasionally. I changed, grew a lot, and had many cool experiences between 40 and 60. I am a very different person now than I was in my 30s. The thought that occupies my mind now is that the end is approaching. Could be 10 years, could be 20, who knows? I can only live and enjoy life until then. Story 4. Oh, grasshopper, it is very different to live 6 months at age 28 than it will be at age 49. You will enjoy things in the future you do not understand or even know about yet. A key to enjoying the aging process is consciously noting what you find new in any given season and savoring it. Also, knowing it is temporary, and there will come some new experience or new understanding after this one. I am 53. Things I have done for the first time after turning 45 that I did not even know could be options for me include learning to surf in France, dancing with my mom as she entered dementia. My family is quite reserved. Seeing a tree I had planted grow above the top of my house, learning to grow and then eat magic mushrooms, seeing fireflies while camping with my girlfriend at the Naked Hot Springs. I live in Colorado and did not think fireflies lived here. Planning guest lists and hosting dinner, parties as a couple, and too many other things to type out. No matter what age you are in life, the truth is you cannot enjoy any more than that one day where you are. So as you age, you still have new days to enjoy something. That is it. That is life. Story 5. Make the next 37 better than the first 37, and ensure that the last 2 or 3 are not a repeat of the first 2 or 3 with all the diaper wearing. Story 6. 37 here too. About to be 38. It's been a crazy journey. Every step I have taken has led me to this point. All the sacrifices, both good and bad, all the plans made and executed, all the mistakes, and all the missed opportunities, they have all led to this moment. Honestly, I feel really grateful to be at this stage in my life. My life is very good. I have exceeded my wildest teenage dreams in love, relationships, growth, health, and wealth. I feel truly blessed to have reached this level of success at what could be the halfway point if I am lucky enough to live to 74. I have about 25 more good years of hustling, then it's sunset. When I retire, I will fully enjoy the fruits of all my labor, just as I am enjoying the fruits of my labor from 10 years ago. Story 7. I stay grateful. Life is a gift. Have fun, enjoy the little things, and appreciate pain. Pain lets you know you are alive. Story 8. Embrace it. Make the best out of every day, week, month, and year. Have a great time. Be kind to people. Make the world a better place. Story 9. You age every second of every day. You either die or grow old, and aging is a gift not granted to all. Story 10. Age is a privilege that has been denied to many. A few visits to a neonatal intensive care unit or children's ward will change your perspective on aging. Story 11. Never forget that someday you have to die, but let that be a reminder for you to live. We all have the same fate. Make the most of the journey. Story 12. You need to accept that all life ends in death. Once you accept that you will be dead at some point, you will either be a bit more selfish or a bit more selfless. It is a mixed bag, really. I hope you end up choosing the second option. Story 13. I want to mention that everyone is sharing their personal mantras and making this sound easy. All of these people took years to come to any sort of acceptance of death, and many of them had to repeat their mantras just to get through the following moments, not days of their lives. I just wanted to mention that. Reading this, you might think everyone else has it figured out. They don't, and those who do took a long time to get there. Story 14. This struck a chord with me when I turned 35. The phrase midway through the journey of life is most famously known from the opening line of Dante Alighieri's Inferno. Nel mezzo del cammin di nostra vita, mi ritrovai per una selva oscura, che la diritta via era smarrita. This translates to, midway on the journey of our life, I found myself in a dark forest, for the straight way was lost. Dante uses this phrase as a starting point for his epic poem, where he recounts his journey through the afterlife. The journey of our life is a metaphor for the experiences and trials of human existence. The idea of being halfway through life is often associated with reflecting on the past and considering the future. It can be a time of reckoning, self-assessment, and perhaps even a midlife crisis. While the phrase is most famous from Dante, it is also used in other contexts to represent a point of reflection or a turning point in one's life. Story 15. Enjoy it. You only get one life, and dreading that you are a certain percent through it is no way to live. So I enjoy it and am excited to get older. Story 16. You cannot do anything about it. What you do is think carefully about what you are doing with your life currently and realize you have a finite amount of time left. Focus on the time you have left and make sure you are not living in a way you will regret. Take care of your body and ensure you can live life to the fullest for as long as possible. You only really have the choices you make. Everything else is noise. Story 17. Just turned 47 in April and I understand your thought process. I literally just push forward and thank God every day I wake up. I deal with the aches and pains of getting older and the aches and pains resulting from the abuse that I did to my body when I was younger. You take every single day and be grateful for the sunshine, complain about cold winters, but you make the best out of every day because, like you said, we are not getting younger. Story 18. So 74 is your cutoff age, and you are 37. That means you have 444 months left to live. Get yourself a big poster board and put 444 boxes on that board. For every month, check off a box with a big red felt marker. Then ask yourself, what did I achieve this month? What goals did I meet? You have 267 months left before you turn 60. What does your bank account look like now? Not many months left until retirement, is there? How have I helped my family? How have I helped society? What good have I done to make people think fondly of me upon my passing? How have I made this world a better place? I feel your pain and wish the best for you. It is not easy and we may fail in our attempt, but I am going to try. Do what you can as often as you can for as long as you can. That is the best we can hope for. Story 19. I remember there was only one alternative. Then go find something fun to do like ride my motorcycle or spend time with my spouse. Story 20. I am 69 today. My mother and stepfather are gone. My father and stepmother are still living. I have older cousins who will all die before I do. I take comfort in the fact that I will likely outlive them all. I am hoping for a peaceful old age full of memories and a quiet death in my 90s. Story 21. Live in the moment and never stop doing youthful activities. I am almost 46 and I still ride my dirt bike with my friends. I still ride bicycles with my children and I am intimate with my wife as if I were still in my 20s. You never know when it could end, so do not dwell on a future that may never happen. Enjoy what you have now. Story 22. I have good news. It is happening whether you deal with it or not. For me, I just do the things I enjoy that bring me happiness and contentment. It seems to be working. Story 23. I just turned 59. For the first time, I feel my body weighing down on me. A bit of arthritis in the fingers and difficulty sleeping through the night. I choose to embrace it all. I retired at 51, blessed with a good career and a disdain for material possessions. I was there for my parents as they passed. I am there for my children. All I want to do now is travel, which I am doing. and embrace the inevitability of it all. It is difficult, but it is real. Remember that the last 5 years may be infirm and then go for it. It is truly the only choice. Story 24. I got really optimistic about human longevity technology. Story 25. I'm almost 50. Dad died at 73. Mom is on her last legs at 74 and is expected to pass in the next month or so. Reflecting on this, I have half my life left to live, about 25 years. It's sobering to realize what time you have spent and how you have spent it. Story 26. It is just a natural part of life. I am not going to spend my remaining time worrying about when it is going to end. I am going to live every day and be happy with my life and family. Story 27. Life choices help. Moved out west, retired, found my communities around cycling. I do not care about politics and most current events. Tequila and gummies. Story 28. I'm in roughly the same situation age-wise. You come to understand that you don't have 37 more years you have today. It's all you've ever had. Make it the best today that it can be. Live in the present. Don't waste time on things that don't matter. Give your time to the people and things that do. Remember that death is certain, but don't focus all your attention on it. Hope for tomorrow. Repeat if you are so blessed. Story 29. If you are in your 30s right now, you will most likely live to 90. The technology that will exist will make this very likely. Story 30. I consider it a relief. Less life to have to keep struggling with, less to have to deal with. Just kind of ride things out and let yourself enjoy things. Story 31. I do not know, man. I just keep waking up, getting things done, and doing a few things I want to do along the way. Then I go to sleep and try to do it all again. So far, so good. Story 32. Just realize that all the time I have lived, all of my memories are maybe the same amount of time I have left until I die. So it is not about getting old, but thinking that you are not pursuing something meaningful or interesting as you would like. Story 33. You either get older or you die young. There is no third choice. That is how I accept and deal with getting older. I am thankful that I am still alive. Story 34. I usually just buy myself an ice cream. In my head, I am like, you have done brilliant, son. Here, you deserve an ice cream. Story 35. Enjoy today as you do not know what tomorrow brings. No one is guaranteed to live to any particular age, so make the most of it. Story 36. Aging is not a bad thing as it happens to all of us. Stay active both physically and mentally. Enjoy the time you have and do not focus on the past or your regrets. Love the people in your life. Remove the toxic ones and be at peace with yourself. Get therapy and work on your mental health as you get older. Be happy. Story 37. Aging is a reward for enduring many challenges while growing up. I embraced aging. Worrying about things diminishes acceptance, while understanding grows and you become more knowledgeable about life. Story 38. Kind of just ignore it. As far as I know, I have only ever been in this moment and will continue to be until I am not. Story 39. I was lucky to have this revelation in college. I had been dating a girl for 4.5 years, and she broke up with me. I was devastated because she was the one I thought I was going to marry. I had my entire life planned out exactly, and now it was not going to happen. I hit rock bottom and eventually brought myself out of the slump. I ended up meeting another girl a few months later. After dating for 2 years, breaking up mutually for 5 months, we got married. Ever since I hit rock bottom, I have learned to live life to the fullest. I got myself into excellent shape, took care of my body, traveled, made memories, made friends, lost friends, and strengthened important relationships. I had my fun, did whatever I wanted to do, and lived the way I wanted to live. Now that I am married, have a baby, and have plans for more, I could not ask for anything better. I understand there will come a day when I cannot run again, play sports, go on challenging hikes, see bands in concert, or do certain things. It has come in waves, especially after getting married. So I did those things when I could. I never think, what if? And instead think, what's next? Story 40. Woman here and I am old. I aim to leave this mortal coil looking back on my life and thinking that was a wild ride. Pack your life as full of experiences as you can. Life is wonderful and amazing. Have fun, be kind, laugh a lot. Make your tiny patch of this planet a better place. Be kind to animals. Remember you are here to enjoy yourself as well. Go out feeling thankful for having been alive. Story 41. Don't ignore it, but use it. You are halfway to your life expectancy, but that does not mean you cannot live much longer if you change your habits. Take care of yourself and set aside time for experiences you may have put off all your adult life. If you have children, you should have new experiences to look forward to in the form of grandchildren. Also, consider what you have accomplished in your first 37 years. If you are satisfied with what you have done so far, then great, keep it up. If you think you have not done things you wanted, you have decades to get around to it, so do not waste that time. Story 42. I hit the big 50 last year. I admit it took me a bit to wrap my head around it. In my mind, I am still the kid in the 90s raising a little hell. In some ways, I still am. I'm just more mature. I have lost all my grandparents, a parent, multiple extended family members, and some friends both older and younger. I count some blessings that I am still here. What does it mean to me now? I know in the timeline of things I will never be remembered. I look at pictures from generations ago, and I have no idea who they are. I know eventually that will be me, but in the short time I have left, I can make an impact on my job, my family, and my friends. In the end, they can grind me up and put me in the trash. I do hope, though, that somewhere someone remembers me, even if it is just for a time. I am a scout, and I live by the motto to leave things better than I found them. In the end, I hope in some small ways I leave the earth a little bit better. Story 43. Meh. I had my existential crisis at a pretty young age. Don't mess up and forget the time you have here is limited. It will all end one day. Every second is important. It all stops at some point. Let that motivate you. Let that drive you. Let it help you love more deeply. Run a little bit longer, fight a little bit harder, and even cook a little better. This is your one shot. Suckle the teat of life every chance you get. My biggest fear anymore is looking back and saying, I wish I would have whatever. It's a good thing that your life will end one day. We've got a lot of time, but it seems like a lot less when you're not making the most of it. Story 44. You stop, then realize that life is your journey and what you make of it. Your kingdom, your playground, your experience. You make the choice, so the goals are set by you and you alone. It's up to you to go do it and thrive. Who cares that you are getting old? It is just biology, that is it. Do what you want to do. Toss a coin choosing heads or tails if you must. Make the most of it or wallow in self-pity. We cannot make you choose. Story 45. Remembering my childhood feels distant and like a very long time ago. I have managed to do a lot in those almost 37 years. The fact that I possibly have as much time ahead of me feels comforting. Story 46. I like to think of it this way instead. I am 33, and I will be 66 in another 33 years. Does that mean I have lived life too fast between 0 and 33? Yes, it feels like it, but have I really? No. Why? I do not consider myself fully developed until I was at least 20. That is when life started for me. That is when I could make my own choices, have my own space, have much more meaningful conversations, and understand more about life. That is when it all started to happen rapidly. So, I see it as if I have lived for 13 years so far. Story 47. I'm also 37, but I'm planning on reaching 114. A perfect birthday, in good health. So I'm not at the halfway point for another 20 years. I also feel more fit than I was 15 years ago and, not counting 2 COVID-19 periods, healthier in general. I wouldn't want to go back to the years from 0 to 20, as I wasn't exactly popular in school. My dad had a major health scare when I was 13, a stroke, but he almost fully recovered. I lost my mother when I was 19. Getting older has its challenges, such as losing older family members and finding it more difficult to maintain friendships. But since I never really had that many to begin with, I'm mostly fine with it. I am happily married to a wonderful husband, and we travel several times a year. Life is pretty comfortable, but I am not looking forward to the body breaking down over time. Hopefully, they will find some proper solutions to that. Story 48. Sometimes I think about picking up a Bible. Mostly, I hope artificial intelligence will lead to medical breakthroughs. It scares me. I had a period where it was normal for me to have a panic attack thinking about dying before I could sleep every night. Then I moved to Asia and those thoughts went away. I also quit smoking marijuana. Both probably had something to do with it. Story 49. Enjoy the moment now. You still have many years ahead. Enjoy them rather than spending time worrying about what will come. Story 50. Yeah, just ignore it. Try to be as present as you can in the moment and enjoy life for what it is. I just turned 49. Story 51. I just spent 2 years being told by doctors I would be dead within the next few months and definitely dead by the age of 40. I am 38 now, and that turned out to be completely wrong. Now, I do not really care at all because I realized you get over the fact that you are going to die pretty quickly after being told you were going to. Story 52. I have heard people say, by the time you are 10 years old, you have already lived half of your perceptual life. As we get older, our perception of time changes because time seems to stretch. When we were children, the month of March felt like it took forever. Now, you blink and a month goes by. However, these people have never worked a job they dislike, where it feels like the clock is moving backwards. You have plenty of time. Now that you are older, you know yourself much better than you did in the past. It is a process of elimination. You know what you will not tolerate. It is all uphill from here. Age is just a number. Story 53. I feel grateful to have lived as long as I have. I enjoy the small things in life and the people I meet. Having a life goal helps too. I keep on writing. Story 54. It hits me sometimes, but then I remember that there is nothing I can do about it. I am going to age and I am going to die one day. It is inevitable. So, it does not make much sense to waste time worrying. Story 55. I think with age comes some maturity. I like to reflect on what I have done or accomplished. The years do not have equal weight. Some years, like days, are less eventful and less memorable. Your next 37 years can definitely be more memorable than the past 37 years if you want them to be. Seize the day. Story 56. I'm a woman, but my grandmother was 38 when she died of a chronic illness. My aunt was 43 when she died of cancer. My uncle died at 22 in a drunk driving accident, and my mom's cousin was murdered at 17. I am 32 now, and I have always known I could die at any age. Death is the only guarantee in life, so I am not worried about it. I cannot change it, and I am not afraid of it. Story 57. Most of my best friends from my teenage years are dead or in jail. For about 12 years, I worked in the basement of a children's hospital next to a morgue. I saw many children who died long before their time and did not deserve it. One of my best friends from my teenage years died of cardiac arrest. He was younger than me. Another, who is a day older than the most recently deceased, survived a heart attack and now has to wear a pacemaker for the rest of his life. He has always been in better shape than me. I struggled with depression, anxiety, and alcoholism. I was convinced I would be dead before I was 40. Now I am 47. I would love to say I turned everything around, that I am rich, raised a big family, and will grow old with the love of my life. The real answer is that my life has shown me how easily death can come at any time and be cold and indiscriminate. Regardless, it inevitably comes for us all. No one gets out alive, so I appreciate the extra years I get to experience life, no matter how mundane. I chose to live past 40 and to live a life in accordance with my morals and ethics. It is a very simple, uncomplicated life. I do not say I am getting old. I think of all those dead kids and dead friends, and I tell myself and everyone else, I am surviving. I am not growing old. I am a survivor of everyday life trying to find new ways to kill me. I intend to make the most of the little moments and big moments as best I can with the limited resources I have. Story 58. Go to Alcoholics Anonymous. Those people can help you understand acceptance and what it means to be present and in the moment. Even if you do not drink, The principles apply to many aspects of life that are difficult to comprehend. You may be fearful of your legacy or anxious about how your future will unfold. You only have this breath and the next, brother. We have no control over certain things, and others we do. Understanding and accepting this is the key. I wish you well and many years of happiness in all forms. Story 59. Day by day, about to turn 42. Yesterday, I was 16. I have been in the hospital for various reasons more than I ever have in the past 2 years. Day by day. Story 60. I see getting older as a step closer to retirement and not having to work ever again based on my pension and property capital. Only about a decade left if my plans are correct. Story 61. Yes. Push those thoughts away. There is a little comfort in realizing you will be gone one day, but it happens to everyone. Be glad it did not happen sooner, as some never even reach your age. It also helps you live life a little better. Not by being risky, but by realizing you do not have an eternity here on this wet, floating rock. Time seems to snowball. The older you get, the faster it goes by. My 30s came and went so quickly, and my 40s are passing just as fast. Story 62. I am 41 years old, and my biggest concern in life is to live the additional 39 years needed to reach the age of 80. I aim to be completely fulfilled, having achieved many objectives in my life plan, thereby leaving my legacy through literature for humanity. Story 63. When I was your current age, I realized I cannot change the fact that I am aging. After I realized that, it became easier to accept. Story 64. I am 41. I do not feel like there is anything to accept or deal with. It has never bothered me. It is just how time works. Live your best life until it is over and enjoy it. Maybe you make it to 80, 90, or even 100. Maybe you get run over by a bus tomorrow. Story 65. I really don't find this hard at all. How can you not accept something that happens to every living thing and always has? It would be like not accepting that I need to breathe to live. But anyway, make sure you have said everything you need to the people you love and make sure your will is set up. I guess you could also write personal messages for your loved ones too. Story 66. I am turning 33 in a month and I have basically just given up. I am just waiting it out at this point, trying to be as comfortable as possible. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.